It's always 7. Oh yeah, let's go. Vicky.
The phone's on silent. 7 minutes down.
All right.
Vicky, wait.
All right. Good morning. Yes, it is time, and it is time for Up Nepa. A very good morning to you, and welcome to the one and only platform where we discuss electricity. My name is Victoria Festus, or you can call me Vicky for short, and I'm super delighted to be here today. And this is a platform where we don't just talk about electricity. We advocate, we inform, we enlighten you about the power sector. So if you're just tuning in for the first time or watching us live for the first time, you are most welcome. All right, this morning promises to be a very amazing morning. And this morning, I'm not going to be rolling this boat alone. I'm delighted to invite and welcome beautiful ladies joining me today on today's program. Good morning, Sophia Yaman, and good morning, Justina Shishana. You're welcome.
Good morning, Vicky. Good morning to our audience. I'm so glad to be here again. As you know, there's no dull moment on Up Nepa.
100%. You're actually right, Justina. Good morning to our amazing audience across the globe. I am Sophia Yaman.
All right, you're welcome, ladies. Like Yaya will say, it's Omo ladies, right? I don't know. I'm just in the mood, to play that song. I don't know. I just want to hype you guys a little, but
Vicky.
it's fine. I'm in the mood to play it. But before we go to what we have today, let's quickly go on a short break, and when we return, we will give you what we have for you today. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere.
All my ladies, décalé, décalé.
Tunes on the beat.
All my ladies, décalé,
That song go because I came prepared for you guys.
Can't
it's
see
a
me
ladies,
dancing.
it's a ladies show, so I just want you guys to feel welcome. So once again, you're welcome to.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That music.
Thank you. But I didn't like the way you ended. I wanted it to be playing it. They will
So
dance.
be dancing
Just 1
and
second.
dancing like
Like
this.
let them see
it
the
was
vibe.
it was playing now.
They're
You were
playing, no,
just
but they're not seeing us. They're not seeing us shaking the kukere like I'm Justina.
Yes,
doing the
so.
cookery
But
dance,
they're saying,
ba?
hey,
Don't worry.
Don't worry,
Time.
next time.
because this you're dressing as if you mean something to do.
Don't worry,
Okay.
next time.
All
All
right.
right, this is Up Nepa, and you can watch this program live on Facebook at Up Nepa platform and on YouTube at Up Nepa _ platform. So do well to like, do well to comment, and please, most importantly, share today's live program going on. Share to your friends, share to your lovers, share to your family. So it's going to be an amazing time. And don't forget to hit that notification button just so we notify you anytime we have something new from Up Nepa. Okay, so this morning we are not just talking about electricity. We are talking about something even more powerful, and that is trust. Because across Nigeria today, from homes to businesses, from transmission lines to transformers, transformers to transmission lines, there is a growing feeling that that something is broken, and the average consumer believes that there is consumer believe that there is a conspiracy between electricity operators and deregulators to deprive them of power to or to bill them unfairly. So the operators believe that every consumer is, let me use the word thief. Yeah, every consumer wants to, exploit them and take from them, or they want to pay for energy consumed, and the regulator seems to be enabling them. And on the regulator side as well, on their part, they have their own misgivings about the consumers and the operators. Hence, providing that balance isn't yielding their desired result. So this morning, we are asking this hard question: is trust the missing megawatt in Nigerian's electricity sector? Ladies, that's what we are going to be talking about this morning. We know we've been on this issue of trust for a long period of time, and as you can see, that it's not just something that just the trust or the mistrust issue is not something that just happened all of a sudden. It has been there for decades. So this morning we are asking: is trust the missing megawatts in the Nigerian electricity sector? What can you say about that?
Technically speaking, I'll say yes, because there's a Nigerian saying that says that when trust is broken, it takes time to get it back. So trust cannot be measured in megawatts as we do in the power sector, but because you cannot produce electricity with trust. But honestly, without it, the system struggles to deliver what it already has.
Yeah.
And again, I'm Justina, if you look at this, Vicky, the reality is that consumers don't trust discos. Like they don't trust them, and the regulators as well. They resist paying. That is because of this lack of trust. They
Yeah.
end up resisting to pay bills. At the same time, they reject, like they frustrate the reform. That is, they frustrate the reform system. And while they are frustrating this reform system, they end up doing this bypassing. So all these issues, like because of this trust issue, like I said, it doesn't allow the system to work the way it is. And these are all issues that that's the Electricity Regulatory Commission, electricity operators and regulators complain about every day. That's the trust issue. Okay, as let me cite an example. Let's come down to the layman.
Okay.
Like, okay, we are here together now. We are like chip chatting, talking about the electricity sector. We're talking about trust issue this morning on Megawatt. We just assume if there's no this understanding between us, while we are even communicating, we tend to be like saying, "It's Justina saying the truth. This is Vicky saying. How sure am I that this is what Vicky is saying?
Yeah,
She has
yeah.
really browsed it." So these things are tend to allow the customers not once this trust issue is broken, even in terms of paying bills, in terms of like they'll end up bypassing and all this thing because of that issue of trust, and it affects the regulatory system. So all these things need to be like considered and taken care of. Then let's trust one another, even at home between parents. When the wife and the husband are having small issues, once there's no trust, once a man trusts his wife, automatically anything she does outside, even when people come to gossip to him that we saw your wife in Chanchek and maybe she told him she's going to make Ukele, you say, yeah, I know. Because there's that trust, but there's no trust between the consumers and this thing. So that trust issue is really a serious issue. I remember like 2 weeks ago when we discussed, I remember when you saying that last time that now that they're having lights, like 2 weeks ago we're having lights. And again, this trust issue is psychological. Like I remember you made that statement that we're having light now. We don't trust. When they say like say, is the light still on? You have to call them. And you call
After
them
I
to
hyped them about
and
ironing
you
my
call
clothes,
them.
Everybody
they
hide
keep the
the
And
light.
so I remember you said you called at homes like say is the light still, is it Vicky that is the light still is this still on or they try the light? All these things rally around trust.
But the question still remains: why is it that an average Nigerian don't really trust this system? I mean, there's a lot that's happened, and if you notice, most importantly, people talk about the unfair billing. If you look at it, paying for what they have not consumed. So you could see that there are a lot of things. It's deeper than what we think. But why is this system still not functioning well? Why is people still having mistrust in this electricity sector?
Well, let me come in here. Research have shown that Nigerians are willing to pay more for reliable power. And we've had that year over time.
Yeah.
I remember even a caller called that time during that period that we were speaking about constant light, and a caller said, "Now that we are seeing constant light, I'm going to ensure I pay my bill."
Abuse.
So Nigerians are ready to pay for electricity if there is. But the barrier is not affordability, it is credibility. It's and trust is what unlocks revenue. And the problem also feel that people want to pay for what they actually use. You are not bringing, and this falls a lot on those who are using estimated billing, even those who
Yeah.
are on meter. Most time they still doubt the unit they pay for. Are you sure I'm paying for the exact unit? Are you sure this unit? Somebody will tell me that when they loaded unit, it finished in 2-3 days. How come? How did they calculate it? How did it finish? They didn't put a lot on. So, and someone those who are using estimated billing, for someone who is in a 1 bedroom apartment and you just have very few appliances and you get a bill as if they are running a bakery, how do you expect that person to trust the system? So that trust is key, and it's trust that will make you the customer or consumer to bring out his money.
Honestly.
That's true, Justina. And again, if you look at it, the painful part of all these things that when prepaid meters are, despite the fact that when prepaid meters are being introduced, people are still skeptical about those things. They still feel that there's this fear. People will still say, this meter said that they've placed this money, is it even accurate? Maybe like it's true that maybe they've tempered, maybe why they are doing this they've tempered. People still okay, you bought a unit, you know that this unit I bought will last me for maybe 3 or 4 days, just maybe because of how I've used it. And you are still saying, is it accurate? At the end of the day, like it's as if they've finished your money, or as if they intentionally rewind and so all these things serious. It's now usually like I've said earlier, it has to do it's psychological. And that's why that
It
like
has
I
really
said,
eaten deep.
it has to do now with mental health too. Because it's psychological because
It is.
an
It is.
average Nigerian doesn't okay, that's why mostly an average Nigerian, despite the fact that want to go outside country abroad and go and live abroad life, we don't want to stay there for long because there's rules.
Yeah.
There's
You can't just do
rules. See,
things
you cannot
anyhow
stay there,
there.
but Nigeria, yeah. Despite the fact
Anyhow,
Anyhow.
despite the
anything
fact that what
goes.
they are giving us like, but we are still having like psychological. We already maybe because that's how we are groomed.
This trust issue is historical. There have been decades on decades and years of electricity failures, and these have really built deep into the public mistrust. Nigerians have been promised stable power supply for since 1970s, and those broken promises have accumulated into collective distrust in the entire sector. And just as we analyzed 2 weeks ago, when even me, I think I even said it here, when there was light, I was saying, I hope the bill will not
We not increase.
it will not increase.
And it has increased though. Okay.
A lot of change. Let's not even go into that issue. That even though we'll not finish this show today. So when the light is constant, the people are anxious to see what the bill will be like. And when the light is not constant,
You can
it's
imagine.
also another problem, because they are hoping that though the light is not constant, hope the bill will be reduced
Be fair,
and
yeah.
hope they'll get fair billing. So 1 month you have light, another month nothing. That time we were praising them, they gave us light, but now that was so, and the billing system does not really reflect this reality, especially those on estimated billing.
Honestly, it has really eaten so deep. Imagine you having light and you're being suspicious of it, and when there is no light, you're still suspicious of it. It's
It's worrisome.
and this kind of trust, this kind of broken trust, before it's being mended, it has to take long. You have to prove yourself again and again and again and again,
Before when they bring
because
light, we say up Nepa. But children now don't even say up Nepa.
nobody says shout
Because they'll
up
say if you
Nepa again.
shout now,
Lady KK said the other time that there's
now
some children in
their
our
neighborhood.
in their neighbor, when they shouted up, when they were shouting up
Up
NEPA,
Nepa.
the other one
Say,
said
don't
don't
shout,
shout,
oh.
so
If
that
you shout now,
the
they'll take
other,
the
so that
light.
they'll take the light. And like as
Unfortunately,
if they
they
just
took the
took the
light.
light. And the next time they bought the light, nobody shouted up
Up
NEPA,
Nepa. They
so
are
that they'll
used to
not
it.
take the light.
Children now
Children.
psychologically, what you
So you
just said, they
see
have
how
been
it is.
affected.
It has really gone so far. I remember certain time when I was still at home, that whenever we have light and we pump water, my mom will be like, oh yeah, scoop all the water, put in drum, fill up the drums and all that, because you don't know when they'll bring this light again for you to pump water. We have to fill up all our drums at home with water, because we don't know after this light now whether they're going to bring light again. So that we just make use of the water that is available. So it's a very big issue. Well, we hope that the system gets better. All right, this conversation is getting hot and hot. And at this point, I feel like I should just open this phone line so that people will just tell us, is it trust that we are missing or is there something else that they need? Well, the number to call to reach us here in the studio, the number to call is 090-388-08883. 090-388-08883. Or you can drop your comment on our social media platform on Facebook at UpNepa platform and on YouTube at UpNepa_platform. Let's hear from you. Is trust the missing megawatt in Nigeria power system, or is there more that we are asking for? So let's hear from you. What do you think? All right, but before we move further, Sophia, you think I'll forget so that you not trust me? It cannot happen.
Trust issue.
It cannot happen. So, Sophia, I just want to say very big congratulations to you.
Woo, drum roll.
Congratulations to you, Sophia, on your swearing in as the financial secretary of the National Association of Women Journalists, Niger State Council.
Congratulations.
See,
Congratulations.
don't
Financial
even send it to. Don't man Justina. You know, when I tell people that she's my mentor, people think I'm playing. I'm the one following her. How do you speak that English if I'm her? She's my predecessor.
Anyone.
Let me not point blow error now. So now she leave that position where I occupy. You know, say, last time we said, okay, it's as if okay, it's a about one. Let's be. Oh, I told you we speak English.
Don't worry,
You
you have to.
You speak
you
Igbo
have
today.
to.
Igbo, even Igbo you speak today. All
All right,
together.
congratulations.
Thank you
Financial
very
secretary,
much.
that position is very delicate. And it's that kind of position that I like.
We'll be looking
When it
at
has to do with
account,
money.
and you know that's why she's on Up Nepa show. So accountability.
Okay.
So they need to be trust, financial secretary,
Accountability.
trust,
We are
accountability,
bridging. The number to call is 080-090-3880-8883.
So there should be
You can call us
transparency.
using make your comments on our social media handle at UpNepa, on YouTube UpNepa_ platform, and our Facebook at UpNepa platform. Make sure you drop your comments, notification, press the notification button so that anytime Vicky is giving you hot content, you'll be able to see it.
All right. So the question or what we are talking about today is trust the missing megawatt in Nigerians' electricity sector? Is trust the missing megawatt? What are we missing? This trust, what can you say about it? So let's hear from you. Drop your comments. We are here. Okay, this, let's dive into the discourse as we know we're talking about the consumers and all that. But let's look at the discourse side because this is not a one-sided conversation.
Everybody is involved.
So now, the disco also have their own complaints that they will tell you that a lot of consumers don't pay bills, some bypass meter, and some connect illegally. And these actions also affect the way they see consumers. Mind you, these service providers are in business. So once they believe customers are dishonest, they start building systems that protect themselves first and not necessarily the consumer. So you see that this trust issue is not just from the consumer side. Even the discos, they are saying, you people also, you don't pay lights, you don't pay bills, you connect illegally, you bypass meter and all that. So I don't know. What can you say about it from the discos angle?
On a serious note, let's be realistic now. We're not laughing now. It's a serious issue now. I'm just stop laughing. Exactly. That's why you. But maybe is that why? That's why you see more of aggressive billing, disconnections. And again, apart from all these things, you see strict enforcement. Sometimes they go beyond all these things and which affect innocent people. Like maybe there's someone now that maybe has just a bulb in his house now, maybe, and maybe just like you said, you're not giving person light, all this thing, and you're not expecting the person, you're not bringing bill for the person to pay 10,000 naira. I just have one bulb.
So the person will not pay, you come and cut the person's light.
So all these things are it's usually as the innocent ones are usually the ones affected. So it's become a vicious cycle. Like customers are going round the clock, so they feel cheated. And when you feel cheated, you feel, what should I even pay? Why should I even trust these people? When I don't get what I want. You are giving me bills. You are doing this. You are doing that. You are doing that. So it affects them. And that's why when they feel cheated, the customers react. When the discos too feel cheated, they react. And we want all this reaction both from. No, I'm the one in the mood. Me to see you here, see her here, I'm not the one in the middle. So you see, there will be a crack.
Mm.
So once there's a crack, you penetrate and say, "Yeah, these are those shh." You see, you automatically will, like this already a gap.
And it's looking like it's just a self thing. Like, everybody just trying to protect his own interest, protect himself. The consumer is trying to protect himself. The discos are also trying to protect themselves.
And
And
so if
here,
you're doing that, then automatically the gap keep getting wide. It's
Mm.
keep getting wider. Like it's widening, because I even speak the English. Oh, John, the gaps keep increasing. But once this, me, I still feel that's why I say this needs for understanding. If you're doing these things, explain to people, communicate with people, proper communication. Let's use
not
Gable
just
the
dishing out
challenger
information.
English. You should ensure enough um information that is aware
Awareness and
creation of
orientation.
awareness and orientation. We are all like, okay, you two and you're part of us and we are all journalists here. Proper information is key, not just informing. And I'm coming now and say, that girl is a goat. Which girl is a goat? We are plenty, we are 3 girls now.
So
Well, I
you
don't know,
know,
Pascal can be a goat too, but
so you know
it's a
that
girl, so we can't say.
so when this privatization issue came up, it raised the hope of several people, but the discourse and the gencos have underperformed so far, and customer feel deceived. So another layer here is the
I used to call them the Oga Pata
regulation,
Okay,
Pata.
pata
the
pata.
oga pata 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 pata, the neck. So the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory
Military
Commission,
commission.
what is their role in all this? You know, regulatory credibility is weak, and neck is often seen as toothless. When the consumers are going to neck and they're not seeing any result, they are complaining and complaining over and over and over again. And because people often ask, where are the checks and balances? Believe me when I say that a lot of Nigerians do not genuinely understand how tariffs are calculated. I remember we
Honestly,
had I think we need to do more.
of that
There
this
need to be a
particular topic
course,
again,
electricity 101.
Okay.
Seriously, I think we need to push for that, so that because
people will
this
know.
tariff
Yeah.
issue,
Serious.
people do not still understand. They don't understand band A, band B, band C, how this is classified, how much is being, how what is being done, how they are being charged. They don't understand any of this. So and also one of our audience called last week and said what we are speaking is Turenchi. There are a lot of
That you
people
need
that,
Like
yes,
they should
grammar,
there are
write
a
it
lot
people
of
down.
people,
understand.
Yeah.
yeah, it's grammar, we are
Grammar,
just
people don't
speaking
understand.
grammar. There are a lot of people who are still not reaching. Those who only hear Hausa, who only hear Yoruba and the rest. So we need to also break it down to people. So a lot of Nigerians do not still understand how these tariffs are calculated. And this is the work of NEC. They can do it. If the discourse are not doing it, NEC can do it. Then um if you don't understand something that affects your money, you will naturally destroy. Me, how will I buy something, or how will I pay for something that I don't trust?
Trust.
So when the regulator is not trusted, no stakeholder, either the investor, whether the operator, whether the consumer, nobody commits to it fully.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Exactly, Justina. Transparency is not just about releasing information. It's about making the information understandable. Like I've said earlier, when you're passing an information, you should ensure that that information you're passing is well, not just understood, but well understood. Because it's possible the community you might be talking to are people who, just like you said earlier, are people that don't understand English. So try to ensure that your communication while informing people about something, it's well informed. And again, enforcement. That's when you another big issue, because even when policies exist to protect customers, people don't always see the protection in
Yes,
action.
yes. Apart from
So from
penning it
an
down on
average
paper.
Nigerian's perspective, it feels they are just their own on their own. Okay, you're telling me that policy, okay, I've brought every day they'll say, let's do stakeholders engagement. Let's do stakeholder. At the end of the day, they'll say they are passing a communique. The communique, how long? How
Are
effective is it?
implemented?
It's not about always coming to do stakeholders engagement. Is the engagement at the end of the day, is it being implemented?
That's
So we
true.
have a problem of enforcing something. We'll just come talk, sit down, tip chats, take tea break, lunch, and all this thing. At the end of the day, just paperwork.
Honestly. Okay, but I as you're just saying this thing now, enforcement, and I just remembered one statement. I think that was in church. Somebody said, you don't need to tell me that you're the man of the house. Don't need to tell me. Show it by your action. So you don't need to tell us that you are just neck. We want to see the actions. Are you taking the
Actions to speak
the
louder.
steps? Yeah, honestly. And okay, all right. Ladies, I still feel like today I don't know why people are not. All right, the number to call is 09038808883 09038808883, or you can drop your comments on our Facebook at UpNepa platform and on YouTube at UpNepa_ platform. So please do well and call, comment, tell us who do you trust the least? Is it the disco, the regulator, or the consumer? We are talking about trust as missing megawatt in Nigerian electricity power sector. So tell us, who do you trust the most amongst these three tiers: the consumer, the discos, and the regulators? And this conversation is still getting hotter and hotter and hotter. But now we are so far so good. We have been talking about,
And again, in case you're trying to reach us, you're not getting us, let them know that they can still get us through our Facebook page.
Yes, you can contact us, or you can comment on our Facebook Up Nepa platform. That's what you're going to search, Up Nepa platform. Then on YouTube is Up Nepa_ platform. Let's hear from you. Okay, so far we have been talking about the lot of issues that's happened and the causes of this mistrust. But one thing is to identify a problem, and another thing is to, once it's identified, another thing is to solve that problem. Now we have identified by mentioning a lot of things: communication, transparency, and all that. But what needs to be fixed? What needs to be fixed?
Okay, what needs to?
I don't understand this breathing in and breathing out here.
Hey, what needs to be fixed is, I think, there needs to be like transparency. Transparency is a breach of trust, and once there's transparency, there will be communication, and every other thing will fall in place. Because even this estimated billing, I would say, I've been trying to examine this estimated billing over some period of time, and I would say this estimated billing comes up from mistrust. Because how you just give people bill and you just estimate, so is a reason for mistrust. That's why once the operators do not trust the consumer, so they lean towards estimated billing. Why have the meter not been shared? I know they will say the meters are not available, the meters are not this and not that, but if you really trust the consumer, share the meter, so everybody will pay for what they are using. And the public do not trust also the regulators like the NEC, and because every tariff feels like they are exploiting them. Even after every reform, NEC will say they are doing this reform, that reform, and the rest. So they need to be transparent. And the lack of trust is a vicious circle. There's low trust, leads to low revenue, it leads to poor investment, it leads to poor supply, and now it leads to eventually
mental health.
lower trust. So while Nigerians have these challenges, there's still generation shortfall, there's weak transmission, and also liquidity issue. So trust is the multiplier problem that is making everything for worse. So once there's transparency, I'm sure all this will be addressed.
fixed.
All these issues will be addressed.
Okay, but I want to ask both of you very quickly, right? So if Nigeria suddenly fix generation today and we start having steady power supply, do you think this problem will be resolved? Do you think people will be happy and the issue will just disappear?
Honestly, no. The no, so I can say I'm squeezing my mouth. No. Seriously. Because people will still question billing. Because just like I just now said, especially in people that are on estimated bill. I have one bulb. They're giving me a bill of 10,000. I don't have fridge. I have a clay pot where I fix inside the ground, natural ground, and I fetch water and drink. And I give me a bill of 10,000 to do what? How will I be able to pay? So you see, there's this issue of trust on billing. They will still question fairness. Because some people, because when they say maybe it's a rented apartment, but the house is very big, like say safe contained, and they have fine black gates. Instead of them to give it to one house, each compound they'll say each compound to pay 10,000. Maybe it's like 10 flat, now that's 100,000. That's an estimated bill. So you see that fairness comes in again. Then and again they'll still question transparency. I've just
I
now
said
said.
so. I said
So in
so.
a situation where they are questioning billing, fairness, and transparency, that means nothing is working. Because we are in a system where the people are already questioning fairness, billing, and transparency. So you see, it's a problem, a big one.
Okay, I also agree with Sophia because infrastructure alone cannot fix perception. And you know, as I said earlier, once trust is broken, it takes time for it to be rebuilt. So the fact that you are now giving me constant electricity like the one they did that last time, so I'll still continue referring to it because they change and it is well.
But you know,
So
and just now, they brought light for 2 weeks. Isn't it just continue bringing light like so that people will pay the bill? They not bring again.
So
So
relate it to what you just said now. If there's constant, I will still need to wait on my own part. Oh, if it is me, I will wait and say, okay, let me see this one now. First month, okay. Second month, okay. Then third month, you see these people have started to change. So with time, you can build that trust, but it's not just it can't be immediate that trust will be built.
Just fixed,
They
yeah.
need to be consistent in what they are doing. So it's a relation is also a relationship issue and confidence. Yes,
Yeah.
because if there's no trust in the
There's no,
relationship, it won't
yeah.
work.
It's not
And
his
the
business actually.
consumer,
So
yes, the consumer, the regulator, the
regulation.
discos,
Disco.
all are in a relationship. You are doing this is supplying this and this. So for that circle to keep going on and on, there need to be trust, and it takes time to build. And people need to have confidence in the system.
honestly, well, it's well said. Like you all have said, you've said so well. All right. Because or due to some technical faults, the initial phone line I called, which is 0903, it's not available now. So you can contact us on Up Nepa line. And here is the number 090-388-76888. 090-388-76888. This is Up Nepa line. So you can call us. Let's hear from you. Or you can drop your comments on our Facebook and on Up Nepa platform. Let's hear let's see your comments. Of course, we're checking it, and on YouTube at upnepa_platform. We want to hear from you. Amongst these three tiers, the consumer, the discos, and the regulators, who do you trust the least? Who do you trust the least? I'll repeat the line again. Okay, we have our first call for today. Finally. All right.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Hello, good
morning, sir.
morning. You're welcome.
Yes. If you say who do you trust most?
Yeah, your
the
name
answer
and where
is
you're
clear.
calling from, sir.
Yes, Comrade Ahmed.
All right, you're
Okay.
welcome.
The answer is very clear. So if you say who do you trust most, it should be the consumers. Because do you think there's honesty in the industry sector, the private sector? The EDC are feel woefully by giving us the electricity. But let me tell you one thing I want you to consider and always have a view of is that once the consumers have not this commodity they are selling and you want them to pay at the end of the month, you are just joking. Because to be sincere, for the past 2-3 weeks, the light has become, I feel, a playing ground where they got the light for 10-20 minutes and before you know, they'll take it off. So you don't expect you not giving me a particular commodity and you want me to pay at the end of the day. So I think the consumers are the ones to be trusted most, and those that the ones who have dishonest should be the particular company as AEDC. For the disco, I think they should answer the question by themselves. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution, sir. Well, he has said he said come and answer the question for themselves.
To explain themselves.
Well, you still see that he's still saying the consumers because they're willing to pay, right? Okay, so I'm going to repeat this line again. The number to call, this is Up Nepa line. The number to call is 090-388-76888. 090-388-76888. That's the number to call to reach us here in the studio. All right, we have another call. Hello. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
sir.
You're welcome. Your name and where you're calling from, please.
Thank you. This is Abba calling from Padigwe.
You're welcome, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the mistrust.
Sir, please be
This
audible a
one,
bit.
this one not using megawatt. If there's anything that's more than megawatt, it is because that mistrust has we have to trace it back to the period of the privatization. Right from when the Nepa was privatized, that was the first. The people that even privatized it were not even sincere to Nigerians, to me and you.
Okay.
Said that, let's put that aside. And the power is not even available for us to pay. To be sincere with you, if power is available, Nigerians are ready to pay.
Mm.
Just take an example of this estimated billion of a thing. Before, I knew a Nepal staff will come to your house and seek a permission to inspect the appliances you have in your house. Then you calculate the amount that you're supposed to pay. But now, one of you made mention of 1 bedroom flat and a single room. You're paying like maybe 25, 30. And if you check it, the light is not even available for you to use. You went out in the morning for your hustle and you came back around 5 or something like that. And at the end of the month, the bill is meted on you. And I had a course to interface with one of the Nepal staff, and I told him that, you see, estimated billing is not the problem. The problem is the light is not even available. Don't forget that we have a contract with you that you are charging me 15,000 naira for a month, and you are promised to give me light for a month. You gave me light for a day of less than 5 hours. In a month, it's less than maybe 45 hours. And you're expecting me to pay for a whole month. Is that sincerity? Are they sincere to us? They're not even sincere.
So amongst them now, who do you trust the most? Are you saying the consumers are the ones you trust or the discuss?
The consumers solve their own problem because once there's not those trust, they'll bypass. And the other thing is the meter issue. They say the meter is free. If you are providing free meter, for example, they said once you pay a certain amount of money, you'll be given an equivalent of that energy for you to be using. Well, but if transformer got spoiled, high tension wire got cut, or something like that, the people in the community contribute money to pay. The KCN or the AEDC of it, they need to there's a holistic review and need for an holistic review of their activities.
All right.
Transformer should be provided by them. Wire should be provided by them so that when everything goes spoiled. Take the example of this MTN and Airtel. If one of their cable goes spoiled, I want to have a they trace it and pay by themselves. The only thing you need to do is buy Airtel and call.
All right, sir.
Transformer, fix it. Okay, this is the bill I'm supposed to pay. This is what you're supposed to pay. You will have no cause to complain.
All right.
You buy your transformer, you buy your wire, back. So everybody else, everybody's at watch.
All right, thank you so much, sir, for that contribution. Thank you. So he's still saying that the consumers don't have any issue. So he's trusting the consumer the most because if they're being billed fairly, of course, definitely they will not bypass and they will not, connect illegally. So it still falls down to the people on top, the discos and the next to do the right thing. Okay. All right. So like I called earlier, the number to call is 090-388-76888. This is Up Nepa line. You can reach us or you can drop your comment. Do we have comments on our Facebook or YouTube? I guess not yet, but you can drop your comments on Facebook at Up Nepa platform and on YouTube at upnepa_platform. So let's hear from you. Amongst these three, the discos, the regulator, and the consumer, who do you trust the most? Is trust the missing megawatt in Nigerian electricity sector? Now we were talking about things to be fixed, and and we've said it all. We've talked about transparency, we've talked about accountability, we've talked about communication. But in relationship, let me bring it down to normal. Like in relationship, you just hear it's mostly talked about communication. You cannot understand. If you want to know somebody very well, you have to communicate with them, and not just communicating. Let the communicate. Does that person, is the person in line with what what you're saying? Does he understand actually what you're saying? Now, if there are, sometimes I even see some of this their press release, and I'm like, how many people have seen this on social media? I mean, how many people have known about this?
Every
This
time
is
it's on
something.
social media, only social media.
Yeah, this is the reason why something is, maybe the light is not available, and all that and all that. Let the communication and the way you communicated it, is it understandable? Can I read it as a layman and say, oh, okay, this is what
is
it
the
means,
message.
without digging deep or finding someone that will help me interpret the issue? Just like last week we brought Dr. Sadiq. He was making a whole lot of points when he was giving us facts and figures. Now tell me how many Nigerians know all these facts and figures. Some people don't even know how much Nigeria is generating actually, but they want light. They want more light, adequate light. So it still boils down to communication for me. Then, as you're communicating, be transparent. Let it be actionable. Let people see what you have promised. Is it what we are seeing? Is it the electricity? Are we seeing it? Am I paying for? I don't know. They just feel like the electricity is just working against them. Honestly, it's just against them. It's not for them.
No,
And that's
that's
how
it.
people
But for
feel.
me, seriously, Vicky, the first thing for me is fairness in billing. If there's actually fairness in billing, that's whether it's you're using estimated bill or prepaid meter. Once there's fairness in billing, I feel it will reflect reality.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
another thing is
Serious. Because I
Nigerians
feel
are not.
honestly, just now, as in, if my billing is fair, I don't think there should be resistance in paying. As the resistance to reduce. That is people to say, like, I'll say I'm not going to pay. No, it will reduce. Because I know that, okay, automatically I'm consuming like 5,000 naira lights, and I'm asked to pay 6,000, 7,000 at least. I'll feel that, yes, they've tried.
Yeah.
But when I'm consuming 5,000 and you're telling me to pay 10 or 15,000, I have to resist now. Because where am I getting that? Maybe that light is the one that maybe I'm a barber. Maybe I'm a barber, or I'm a welder. Where it's from there I could generate this 5,000 to give to them,
pay,
and I'm not getting the lights, and I'm not
It's
having
painful,
like
honestly.
the bill is now like ambiguous. So how will I get the money? Automatically, I will avoid it and I will resist paying.
And how we didn't know there's fair billing, just as
I just wanted to say that now. How would they know?
just as Vicky just said, communication. Nigerians are not unreasonable people, and most of these, yes, most of these
They're smart
discos,
people.
and gencos want to make us look like we are unreasonable. We are not unreasonable. When you communicate effectively, if there's a fault, let us know. If there will, even when there will be too much light, enough light, let us still know. If there will be no if there will be no light, let us know. So if explain to us, oh, in this area, or all of you are in band E, this is what you be expecting. If you are not metered, at the end of the day, how many people know that at the end of the day they are going to calculate the whole money in that area and divide it according to everybody? Nobody knows that. Everybody just feel they are paying and they don't see what they are paying for. So it comes down to the people and explain, and that is what communication is for. Silence creates suspicious, and like me, when you are silent, I'll be suspicious of what you are doing, and I'll be unwilling to even pay for that service. Then on that thing, consistency is key. Not when you, because we say you should communicate, you now communicate for 1 week, and after the 1 week, after the 1 week, you keep quiet again.
You go for
Anything
holiday.
that happens. So consistency is key. So even if the supply is not perfect, it should be predictable. Normally, I think even in the past it was predictable. Like, we know that time from 2 to 4 you are going to have electricity.
So you prepare ahead of
So
time.
you make your plan around that area. You make your plan around that area. So sorry.
Sorry.
So you make your plan around that. So when there is consistency and when the light, electricity, the supply is perfect, people plan it and it come against any uncertainty. Then also accountability. If a customer default, there should be consequences, and we see the consequences.
Yeah.
Now if we default, they come and
There's
cut
no
our
lights,
lights.
yeah.
So that is our consequences. So if the disco default, what is the consequences that they face? If the genco default, what is the consequences that they face? Is it that there is no consequences? What do NEC do when it does not meet up to its expectation? So this, people should also know that this service provider, they also have consequences, and when they face the consequences, let us know.
Let us
So I
know.
will know you're also dealing with them the way they are dealing with us.
Honestly.
And when you think about it deeply, you see Nigerians saying, we have resilience. Hey,
Honestly, we have built it.
we have built
We
that
have
thick
shock
skin.
absorber. Anything that
Sure.
happens.
You are right.
Of course.
That shock absorber is there. So we have adapted to so many things. Generators, inverter, solar. Recently they say everybody should go and do alternative power. They not say it's solar, but everybody say solar. So Nigerians are already creating their own solutions, and which says a lot, because it means that people are willing to invest in power, and it's true.
Yeah.
People are willing to. If you see the way people are going for solar now, you know people are willing to invest in power, and in the next 4-5 years, you can come into it.
Yeah.
All these discos, gencos, they'll start coming to beg us to get electricity to come and pay for light, because we'll not need their electricity again. We'll have to be using our solar. It's not even generator again. They are even now there's solar generator. So what do we now use their light? When I have my solar, I've paid for my solar, what should I now use their light for? So Nigerians don't fully believe in this electricity sector anymore. The disco, the genco, the NEC, they don't believe in the system anymore.
All right, what you said is actually so true, and it's so sad that electricity is, necessity. It's not like
it is.
You're just doing us a favor. This is what, as humans, we need. Just imagine the world without electricity. How do you expect both businesses to grow, houses, for homes? So it's a necessity, and we want what is best for us. Okay, before we quickly round up our social media, I think we have some comments on our social media. Let's quickly take some comments.
Okay, we have Mohammed Buka.
Okay.
Yes, he said, "Good morning, ladies in the studio. My introduction will be, if I don't give you electricity, don't vote for me." The Nigerian electricity supply most massively have political willingness, and Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission should deep impose customers' trust too. In anything, trust is so necessary. So he went on to talk about how Nigeria electricity supply has not been consistent and the rest. So he also said this persistent supply gap, combined with high estimated billing and high cost of alternative power, has resulted in profound distrust between the consumers and discos. Congratulations to Auntie Safia Yaman. When are we celebrating it? And Justin Ashana and Lady Vicky, and especially saying Jumat Mubarak to all of you. T for thanks.
Thank
Then
you.
he also said, I think it's also almost the same thing. He was saying about NEC. Saying NEC received a lot of complaints, but they are very slow in resolving disputes, especially regarding wrongful disconnection and billing, and they have left consumers feeling helpless. Estimated billings crisis, meter procurement issues, tariff increase, low confidence in the power sector is what the privatization of the PSC of the then PSCN rebirth. Again, a lot of experienced staff have been retrenched, which makes citizens to lose trust in the discos and the regulators. The customers are always ready to pay their bill once the electricity power is stable. Then we have Anel Sado Jr. Good morning, ladies in the studio. The issue of electricity in Nigeria is a hydra-headed snake. You cut off one head and another springs up. The trust issue is deep. How can consumers pay for electricity they have not consumed? The discos refuse to meter every household. From December last year to March this year, we spent just 6K because we have a meter, and electricity was epileptic and erratic. In the same period, my friend without a meter was asked to pay 15,000 for January, 17,000 for February. How will he trust what he was given? There's a lot to be done in the power sector. Then we have lastly from Albert Ghana. He said, truth be told, the power deficit in the power sector is alarming. It does not only revolve around billing, but even replacement and repairs of power installation like transformers and cables.
Oh my goodness. So you can see that they have said it all. You could hear they have said it all. Well, today's conversation, like I said, is a very amazing one. And it's bigger than light and darkness. It's beyond light and darkness. So we are asked, and I believe this is where the Ministry of Power should come in. Because
Ministry of Power, we are calling on them.
this is a very critical
People cannot
situation.
continue keeping quiet this way.
Honestly
At
speaking.
all.
Honestly.
They've been keeping quiet, and let's not say what
go
we should
further.
not want to say.
All right.
But
So
they should please come and
do the needful.
do the needful.
Honestly. So if trust is restored, will the system finally work the way it should? Because without trust, every unit of electricity will come with doubt. And until that changes, Nigerians may keep searching for megawatts when the real problem is shortage of electricity. All right, it's been an amazing time. Thank you so much, Justina and Sophia. I always say, you guys make this show so amazing. And to all that called and those that commented on our social media platform, we want to say a very big thank you for staying with us. Keep staying with us and keep tuning in. On next week, Friday, until we meet again, do have a wonderful weekend and stay powered, stay informed. My name is Victoria Festus, and until we meet again, stay sharp. Up, Nepa.
Let there be
Let there be
lights.
light.